I'd like to address myself now to the home study situation. Home study with CATV is a natural extension of the capability of the cable. If you will, project yourself with me into a typical home situation. A student sits at his desk. He has books, study material in front of him, and of course a small TV set connected to the cable. It's Tuesday night, it's 8:30, Geometry 3 is being presented. An instructor is on stage. The instructor is going through typical study material, preparing the student for a quiz. The quiz appears on the screen in the form of a table with multiple choice answers. The student answers the questions, and number one, with our system, he gets immediate feedback of whether he answered the questions correctly or incorrectly, which is an important item in home study learning. And number two, we have provided for what educators consider a very important feature, a certain amount of chaining of questions and answers. Now you might ask how you can do that in a system that's not completely interactive. We've done it by including somewhat trivial circuitry in the all-purpose box, which you've seen earlier, at the consumer's end, at the viewer's end. It's all very, very simple, but it provides the option for the student to go from a question and an answer to either a review section or a preview section of more complex material, depending upon how he answered the previous quiz questions. We have the effect of chaining one question to another one, in fact, to two other ones, without having an interactive system of the future, including computers and all the other good things that are required to do completely chained problems in our rather simple system. In a minute, I'd like to take the role of an instructor and go through a typical quiz, and at the conclusion of that, I will assume the role for a moment of the student and show you how the student interacts with the quiz questions he sees on the screen, how he, with the use of a light pen, answers the question, gets immediate feedback, and proceeds to another section of the question, depending upon whether he answered right or wrong, as I said earlier, to a review or a preview section. All right, moving on now to another form of the Pythagorean theorem. We see the question, find the answer to the formula square root of a squared plus b squared. I'll give you 10 seconds to find the solution. Either 1, c squared, 0, square root of c, or b. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As you might assume, what has really happened is that the chart, along with the coded spots you saw in the answer boxes, appeared on the student's screen, and with his light pen, he addressed his screen like this, pressed the trigger, and he got an immediate indication of whether his answer was right or wrong from two small indicators on his light gun. That situation, of course, satisfies the requirement of immediate feedback to his answers. Excuse me. Now we would like to give you a demonstration of the chaining that we have previously talked about. Let's address ourselves again to the question of one form of the Pythagorean theorem. What is the square root of a squared plus b squared? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to get the answer. The answer is either 1, c squared, 0, c square root of c squared, or b. The student puts his pen opposite one of the spots, pushes the trigger, and obviously, since he pointed it as number 1, he got an incorrect answer, and the following thing happens. The review section appears on the left-hand side, lower left-hand side of the screen, giving the student a chance to review the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared so that he can reorient himself for the reappearance of the original question. The original question reappears. As before, the coded spots come on. The student gets the right answer, this time by pointing to C. The spots disappear, and of course his light pen has given him the right indication. And now the following thing happens. The preview section appears with a new question of advanced nature. In this case, if A equals C and B equals 2, find A or C. Well, that's a compound question. The student is allowed a few seconds to work that out on a piece of paper, and the coded spots are not used, although alternately they could be used if so desired. Okay. I've taken you through the entire scenario now, and I think it might be a good idea to do some practicing. So we'll put up the same quiz question again and put up the coded spots so that you can exercise the photo pen for a few minutes if you like. Okay, I hope that's giving you an adequate idea of how the photo pen works, how chained answers work in our system, and in general how we anticipate that little plug-in module on the side of the all-purpose box will function in a CATV home study environment. I'd like to cap this rather long presentation by saying that I appreciate your interest and your attention, and if any part of what we've done before is of interest to you, we only need to flip the videotape recorder back and we're back in business. Thank you very much.